Cosmic rays are highly energetic, charged particles produced in space by the sun, stars and supernova. Now, while you can't see them, they're travelling at over 1 million miles per hour, and if one was to hit you, it could tear apart your DNA. The sun's magnetic field protects planet Earth by deflecting these cosmic rays back out into space. But some still get through, and when they do, something really interesting happens.
For the sun to have a significant effect on our climate, its average energy levels would need to rise or fall for several decades at a time.
But we know in the past this has happened, and when it did, the effect on the Earth's climate was dramatic. My research was based on historic observations made at the Royal Observatory in Greenwich. And just as this was being built in 1675, something strange was happening with the sun. Back then, this was state-of-the-art. It was the first dedicated scientific research facility in Britain. But during the second half of the 17th century, there were hardly any sunspots for the astronomers here to observe. It looked as though the sun's activity had mysteriously just dropped away.
And at the same time, the northern hemisphere was plunged into a mini ice age. Frost fairs were held on the surface of the River Thames, which froze over, sometimes for months.
It's amazing to think, just a few centuries ago, during winter, I could have walked over there. All the evidence suggests that the sun's life is just like many of ours, sometimes very active, sometimes asleep. So this begs the question, could global warming be caused by the sun just going through a really active phase? Now, the 20th century has seen the sun at its most active for hundreds of years, and some researchers even believe thousands of years.
For the first 60 years of the 20th century, as the sun's activity increases, so does global temperature.
And you can understand why some people believed that the sun could be causing global warming. But the data for the last 30 years tells us a different story. The sun's average energy output hasn't increased, but global temperature has shot up. And this means there must be another cause of global warming. Sadly, that cause must be us, human activity. I'm afraid the sun doesn't let us off the hook.